man. Did you miss me? I missed y'all. Yo, put this coffee down. What's going on, good people? We are back with another video. If you are new here, yo, I appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you stick around a while because we do some dope things around here. It has been a minute since I've been here. It's been a crazy last couple of weeks. 2.5 weeks. I think the last video I did was the unboxing of some new gear. I took it out the box. I played around with it, shot a little bit one day. Haven't done anything with it yet since then. So I gotta figure that out, right? I gotta make time to do that because I have a lot of prom shoots get ready to come up, and I want to use those lights outdoors. So I need to get on my game, you know. Listen. This is an open letter. This is a Dear Diary type of video. So I don't know where it's going to go, and I don't know how long it's going to be. But I just have questions, right? So life experiences that have taken place over the last couple of weeks leave me, thinking, questioning things, strategizing a little bit, if you will, as well, and trying to figure this thing out. So I don't have the answers, but hopefully we can talk through them. You all can get in the comments. You all can, share some of your thoughts as well. And I think the first thing that is on my mind is work-life balance. How do you get the perfect balance? Is there a such thing as a perfect balance? Or is it sometimes you spend way more time with work and less with life or family, if you will, and then the opposite, because you do have vacation and things like that. But so is there ever perfect harmony between the two? Because we do know that typically, because if you're spending 40 hours at a job, you're probably spending more time with your coworkers than you are with your family and your loved ones, right? So how do you make that time count? Especially if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, it's definitely way more than 40 hours, right? It's not a 9 to 5, it's more like a 12 to 12. So how do you juggle that? How do you figure out ways of taking care of things within the business, taking care of things at work, while making sure you are going to soccer practice, while making sure that you and your spouse are having time alone? Because you and your spouse, y'all talking about day-to-day operations, especially if you have like kids and y'all talking about bills and things like that. That's not quality time. That's not handling the relationship. That's only handling day-to-day responsibilities. That's a job too, if you will. Don't want to make it sound like that, but hey, that's a job as well. So how do you connect with them outside of that, right? The one thing that I am doing, this mic is falling. Tay, we need to figure out how to make sure these mic arms stay up. And it ain't just tightening these screws. Because then when we tighten them all the way up, I say he got Tay put some extra testosterone when he turns them. So when I'm trying to redo it, it's hard. Anyway, what was I saying? The balancing, the work-life balance. One thing for me, I live by a calendar, right? I have a lot of responsibility, and the calendar is the only thing that can keep me honest. So every morning I get up and I look at my calendar to see what I have ahead of me for that day, right? And I manage my day accordingly. I was telling a friend of mine that I don't talk to that often. He lives out of state. He's in DMV area. So we were talking about it, work-life balance. And I said, listen, I have decided to start putting, task on my calendar to say, hey, call and check on, your friend, call and check on this person, that person, whatever. And he was like, I ain't no checklist. You ain't about to check me off the list like, oh, you got that done. And then I realized, wow, it's managing perception as well. Because for me, I think that is totally normal. You should just like schedule a date, with your spouse or whatever. But I guess to some people, it removes genuineness. Is genuineness a word? Y'all, I'm tripping today. Okay, y'all see I got coffee. Genuine. It doesn't come across as genuine. It doesn't come across as authentic, if you will, to some people. But for me, it keeps me honest. It keeps me honest because I don't know how many times I'll get a text, because I go to bed early, and I wake up extremely early. I wake up before most. I go get the rooster up so the rooster can go wake up the rest of the world. That's how early I get up. And I see messages, text messages, voicemails, things like that when I get up in the morning. I'm not going to call or text anybody that early in the morning. But if I see that text and I read it and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I say I'm going to get back to it later at a respectable hour and text them back, my day has already started. My day is well on the way and it slips my mind. So put it on the calendar. I think that's appropriate. The same way as in, people, let's say you have a birthday party or an event or something and you give people a save the date. They put it on their calendar. Just because it's on their calendar doesn't mean they don't care about you or they don't want to show up. It just means they got to remember, and plan accordingly. I might be dumbing that down a little bit or making it sound better for me. Y'all let me know what you think. Is putting on the calendar, hey, check on your friend, does that remove the emotion from it? Does that remove the genuineness? I don't know if that's a word, but I'm gonna keep using it. You know what? I tell you what. Hey Siri, is genuineness a word? She says, yes, genuineness is a word. It refers to the quality of being authentic, truthful, and sincere in one's words and actions. Brett, I'm on it. So, yes, does it remove the genuineness? Is it real? Is it real because I had my pocket assistant, Siri, remind me to text you and see how everything is doing up in DMV? I don't know. Now, I will say what has gotten me on this is that, I just went through something with one of my friends and it was very difficult, very challenging and everything. And I think that a mirror was put in front of me to show me some of that opportunity. And I keep saying, because it's kind of difficult to be vulnerable in front of this camera, even though nobody's here, but it's kind of difficult to be vulnerable. But yeah, the mirror was put in front of me, telling me that, I don't reach out and things like that. And to me, it was just like, hey, you know what it is that I'm doing. I'm over here building an empire and things like that. But is that an excuse? Is that an excuse? Can you check on people? I think you can. Even while building an empire, you can check on people, So it's like, do you want to? That's the question that you have to ask. Because I'll say it. I'll say it in a heartbeat, same friend, said they wanted to do photography and they weren't shooting. It's like, well, do you really want to do photography? Because if you did, then you would shoot, right? So same question, Shamar, do you really want to check on them, see how they doing? Because if you wanted to, you would do it. You wouldn't say, oh, I'm building a business. So yeah, thinking about stuff like that, and how do you balance that? I try to bring in or incorporate, my circle into what it is that I'm doing, right? So every time that I have an event, of course, they're always the first ones that I let know. They help me out, especially in the beginning. They were helping me out to get the events up and running and things like that. And then now it is just incorporating them in. If they have a business, if they have, things that they're selling or whatever, how do I create that space and that opportunity for them to be able to do it within my space? So I'm supporting you, you're supporting me, and now we're in the same space, seeing each other, right? And I think that for me, because I've been doing this so long and because I've been on this journey and I've always known that it's a lonely road, if you will, on the pursuit of business ownership, entrepreneurship. It's a lonely road. So I've been on it for a long time, and I know that there's a lot of sacrifice that comes into it. So I have forgone going out. I don't go out. I don't hang out. I don't go to the bars. I don't go to the clubs. I don't sit and watch TV. I don't keep up with social media. I have to because of the business, but other than that, I don't really keep up with it. So those are the sacrifices I made, and with not going out. So if my friends are going out and hanging out, doing things, whether it's a bar, club, a kickback at someone's house, they're having dinner parties and things like that, I'm not attending because I'm either here in the studio or I'm at home taking care of things for the studio, for the business, right? So in the beginning, those lonely nights, late nights, I didn't mean to say lonely nights, those late nights of staying up editing, staying up doing market research, staying up figuring out, how to do this, how to make that happen, how to make this connect the dot with that, and then getting up early. So only doing 3 hours of sleep and stuff. I was the only one there doing that. No one was there with me, but it wasn't, in my opinion, as if they didn't care, because when I did call, they would show up. So same difference. I feel like when you call me, no matter if my head is in the clouds dreaming about, something for the business, or if I'm out there on the road really working and grinding to make that dream come to fruition, if you call me, I'm going to show up. I'm going to be there. Also, so I think that's enough of that. Let's move on. Another thing that has happened in this last 2 weeks is we lost a pretty decent sized client. They would do two events a year, and those events, brought us a nice check, and it was a nice thing to do. Done it for the past 2 years, 2.5 years. So they just had their first event of this year this past weekend. Didn't reach out to us. They have been posting pictures and everything like that, so clearly somebody provided that service, and that somebody was not us. And I thought about, in that, we had a few challenges, while working with that client and stuff, and things weren't always smoothly ran, if you will. And there was no notification or anything. I did reach out like, hey, I know your event is coming up. We would like to submit a proposal, looking forward to it, this and that. Didn't hear anything back. And it's like, okay, so is that, you start to question yourself, right? Hey, are we not good enough? Do you not like our work? Do you not like the working relationship? Do you not like me personally? Did I do something to you? But then I definitely understand that sometimes you outgrow, right? So, or they no longer fit your needs, because who knows, their budget could have changed. They know what that check was or that price tag was on our services on previous events. And let's say that, because they're a nonprofit, let's say they didn't get the same funding that they got before, so, hey, they have to go with someone else. It could be anything, or it could be just flat out, what, I just don't like Shamar, and I don't want to work with Shamar. So I ain't working with him. No matter what it is, I have to look at it and understand, like, hey, okay, now we're no longer working, but I still have to focus on my other clients, and I still have to focus on drawing in potential leads to turn into new clients as well. I do ask for feedback, because I do want to make sure that we are giving the best service that we possibly can, and that, it's still a great working relationship. And you have to nurture those too. The same way I was just saying, you have to nurture friendships and check in and stuff like that. You have to do that with your business clients as well, because it's a working relationship. And even though y'all may not be doing an event anytime soon, it's always good to check in, see how they're doing, if they have any questions about anything. Because I know sometimes I had client Chamber of Commerce, gave them their videos and everything, delivered them through Google Drive. I saw her at an event 2 months later, because I never saw the videos posted or anything like that. I saw her at an event 2 months later, and I was like, hey, how did the videos turn out? Did you like them? Because I hadn't heard anything either. And she was like, I didn't know how to download them. What? What? That's fine, but why didn't you say anything? Oh, I didn't know. I didn't want to, bother you. That's not a bother. I provided you a service. You received the final product, but you couldn't utilize it. The whole point in you, obtaining our services was for you to utilize the final product. And when you were not able to utilize it, you should have hit me up. So when I reach out to clients after That was a learning lesson, right? So after that, I start reaching out to clients. If a client doesn't mention anything after we deliver, because oftentimes when we deliver photos and or video, client immediately hits us back. Hey, one, wow, great turnaround. Two, great images, great video. Every now and then there may be a request for a revision, and then we'll revise it and send over. But they reach out and say something. When I have the clients now that if they don't say anything at all, I'll give them, a couple of days, if you will, and then I'll just follow up. Like, hey, how you doing? Just checking, make sure that you received your deliverables, and if there's any questions that you may have for me. That's a good way of seeing if there was any challenges. Like if I would have reached out to her when she didn't say anything after I delivered the videos, I would have known then she didn't know how to download a video. So I would have helped her download a video and she could have used them. It would have been a great experience, or a better experience, if you will, because I don't know what she thought when she got the files and couldn't download it. She could have been like, they didn't give me the right stuff, or why would you do this and I can't use it? Who knows? Let's say it was something negative that she thought. I could have fixed that just by simply reaching out. I'm like, hey, did you receive your videos? Did you like them? So being intentional, always putting it on your calendar as a reminder to reach out to people and stuff. I think that will help close the gap on some things, because I ain't gonna hold you. I feel like a lot of times in disagreements and arguments, like with my friend and stuff, it's just miscommunication. It's a misunderstanding. And if it goes on too long without correcting it, that's when possibly animosity builds up. That's when feelings get hurt. And when you get to that point and it's a long window in between the offense and when you all do address it, now you're not really addressing the issue or trying to clear up the misunderstanding, trying to find a resolve. You're coming from a place of emotion and y'all are going at it. You know what I'm saying? And that is not good, because now in that space, that creates now new issues, because sometimes people can say things to the point of no return, because you're hurt, you might say something that you normally would not have, and it could offend the other person. So even though that person might be wrong or might be the reason for the original misunderstanding, now you've greatly offended them. So that's a risk that you all take. So I say, attack it head on, but conflict resolution, that's what that is. But again, I ain't trying to go down that road too much. Like I said, this is all over the place. This is definitely a Dear Diary. I'm just sitting here getting it out, right? So I think that the recurring theme, no matter if it's, familial, if it's friendships, if it's working relationships, because I have people that work here with me. If it's business relationships, I have clients that we work with on a regular basis. You have to proactively check in with them, make sure everything is good. And it's not a task. It's not a checklist. It's not a, the genuineness of it all can still be there. And actually, to me, that shows, if someone did that with me, checked in or, hit me up, that would show care, concern, like, oh, okay, they want to know, so that's just a practice that I have. Now, again, back to the work-life balance, and the only thing that I came up with was the calendar, scheduling things. But also, I think I have routines, and routines work for me. The first 30 to 45 minutes of my day is dedicated to my dog. Shout out to Cairo. What's good, little man? We wake up early, and it's all about him. I'm asking him how he slept, Good morning. We're talking. Well, I'm talking. Okay, I'm tripping. So I'm talking. He's interacting with me. Feed him. He gets to run around a little bit. He gets to use the restroom and stuff. And I don't even touch my phone. I don't open it. I don't do any of that, because I want that time. 45 minutes every morning, he knows that I'm locked into him and what his needs are. After that, that's when I come in, look at my calendar. Okay, these are the things that I have. I start to get myself ready for the day. Whether it is I put on some music, I put on a podcast, listen to it, I'm getting ready. He's sitting there chilling. Most times he goes back to sleep, and it's like, really, bruh, we got to get up this early every single morning. And right after you do your thing, you want to go back to sleep, but I got to keep going. And so that is my time for me, as I'm getting ready. I'm listening to the music or I'm listening to the podcast. That is for me. That's something that I want to do. And I'm being connected with myself, and I'm figuring out how can I make today better than I did better than yesterday. And then after that, the day gets started. So the same way that I can create routines with my dog and myself, I need to be intentional on creating routines with my other loved ones and everything. And in the beginning, if that's putting it on the calendar, like every Sunday I'm going to tap in, then that's what I'm going to do until it becomes, a part of my routine. Because Cairo, listen, when I first got that, he'll be 4 next month in a couple of weeks. But when I first got him, he was 8 weeks old. Every 2 hours, we were getting up so he can go outside. And in the middle of the night, that's midnight, 2 a.m., 4 a.m. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go back to those days. But it became routine to once, he got settled in and grew out of that. Because what was that, about 2 months? I think that lasted for 2 months. I ain't going to hold you. But after that, now it is, okay, well, I sleep through the night, but I get up at 5 o'clock. That was rough. Whew. That 5 o'clock every morning was rough. No matter what time I go to bed, we got to go at 5, So that became routine. Now, even when he goes to boarding or wherever, I'm still getting up because my body has been used to it for the past almost 4 years. Getting up at 5 every morning, no matter rain, sleet, snow, no matter holiday, weekend, waking up at 5, So same thing. Now, yes, I have to schedule you in the beginning, but it'll become routine. And now I don't even have to think about it no more because it's clockwork, So I think that's going to help. Again, I don't have the answers, but that's what I came up with. Now let's talk about a little bit of business. I don't know how long I've been on here, but let's talk about some business. Like I said, prom is coming up. That's going to get crazy. For the past couple of weeks, we've been pretty busy in Charlotte Podcast Studio. Make sure you check out that channel if you haven't already. It's charlottepodcast.studio on YouTube and on TikTok and Instagram. And that's literally our website as well, charlottepodcast.studio. Okay. But it's been pretty busy over there. We have a corporate client. I did a video about that, showing the different sets, for that corporate client. And they've been doing some business with us, kept us busy. Now they're actually wanting a proposal to give us more business, because at first we were just doing their live streams for them. Hit record, they do their interview with that person, and then that would be the end of it. Now they're requesting a proposal for us to not only record their podcast episodes, but we also do the full production, post-production, and actually, posting and things like that, publishing, if you will. So that's exciting. I've had several one-timer podcasts coming in as well. So pretty busy on that side. Now it's about to get busy on Alan Lux side as well, with the proms that are coming up. Senior portraits are coming up. I have sisters. One is a senior at Howard University. One is a senior in high school. So the senior in high school, I have to do her prom. The very next week, I have to do her senior portrait. And then the very next week after that, I have to go to D.C. to shoot the oldest sister, her senior portraits. So that's going to be fun. And I've already put on my calendar to hit my friend up that lives in the DMV after I get done with my senior portrait. Yo, hey man, well, first off, hit him up, let him know I'm coming, right? And then when I get done with the senior portrait, hey man, I'm here, let's go grab lunch or something. And then, move on. So you see that balance? You see how I'm trying to? So Prom and senior portraits for the month of April. We're doing a live event. A live event? We're doing an event here in the studio space on May 3rd. More information to come about that, because again, there's a third pillar of this. The rollout has not happened yet, but we are definitely rolling it out, and you guys will be in the know once we start rolling it out, because of course I'll come in here and I'll do a video about it. But yeah, that event is May 3rd. If you're in the area, we would love for you to come by. That's on a Saturday. It'll be from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. And yeah, listen, one thing about it, I know how to throw a party. So I think that'll be dope. My residents, man, listen, I am having the time of my life with my residents. We've literally met 3 times, but in each one of those times, there's a lot of information shared. There's a lot of connecting. They ask questions, and I'm realizing all the knowledge that is in this noggin. You see? You know what I'm saying? This big old shiny head. There's a lot of information up there, and I'm excited that I get to share it with other people, right? So we did a virtual class. I taught them the basics of photography, the exposure triangle. That is your 3 settings, comes with that triangle. That's the ISO, that's shutter speed, and that's aperture. We did some demos in there. So it was a 2-hour class, right? And I'm like, do I have enough material for 2 hours? Man, listen, I had plenty. We could have gone on, but I wanted to be respectful of their time, and I stopped us when it was time for us to stop. But that conversation was jumping. I make it interactive because I'm not going to lecture you for 2 hours, right? But I talk, ask questions, they would interact, they would answer it, they would ask me questions and stuff like that. Then we did little demos. Everyone had their own camera, and they had to practice different things that I was asking. And then they have a homework assignment because they're getting ready to come in this coming Saturday. So in a couple of days, to do an in-person session, and that one is going to give them the basics of studio photography. So I'm going to teach them about the lighting, the equipment that we use, lighting. They're going to be each other's models, and they're going to practice shooting on each other. You know, I'm going to teach them Rembrandt. I'm going to teach them, that's lighting as well. So I'm going to teach them the various lighting techniques, you know, and I just love when we connect, because I see all these light bulbs coming on. I see these aha moments, and I see, oh, that's why XYZ, when I was doing this, that happened. Absolutely, that's why that happened, you know? So yeah, it's fun. So they are learning that. So again, they're coming in this Saturday, do the in-studio photography. But the main thing in this residency is they have to come up with a project. They have to conceptualize it. They have to do the pre-production. They have to do the production, which is shooting it. Then the post-production, editing their photos. And then from there, we're going to put together another party, because again, I know how to throw a party, you dig? It is going to be a reveal party. They're going to invite their family and friends and loved ones in here, and they're going to have their photos on display for everyone to see what they've done over these past 4 months. And I am excited about that, because we all learn the same basic fundamentals, right? You understand the camera, because the camera's going to work the way the camera works. That's it. 1 + 1 is always going to equal 2, you know? So I just love, now that everybody has that baseline, that understanding of how the camera works, each person is unique though. They're going to use those settings. They're going to use that, the functionality of the camera to capture something different, because we all see the world just a little bit different, you know? And even with the ideas that they told me about their projects, everyone is thinking of something completely different. And that's going to stretch me, because now I have to help coach them in the proper techniques to capture the project that they want to, which is completely different than this one. Now I have to teach you and coach you on how to capture it that way. And then the third person is something completely different as well. So it's going to stretch my, skill set. It's going to stretch my mind. And most of it I do know with no problem. I didn't realize I've been talking that long, because the camera stopped. That camera, I'm using the R6, it stops at 30 minutes. So good gracious. What was I saying? I might need to just end this, but I've been talking. I've been enjoying this right here. So, like I said, stretching myself. I know the majority of all the things that they want to do, right? And I know how to coach them through it. There is one thing that I have to go just study up on because I've never personally shot that, but we're going to learn together, and I love it. So, yeah, clearly this is a good stopping point because the camera said, enough, Shamar, enough already. Yo, if you watched all of this, yo, you the realest, and thank you for listening to my diary dump, if you will. If you have any suggestions, if you have anything that you know that works for you as far as work-life balance, as far as making sure that you're tapped in on both sides of the house, if you will, your work and your family, drop it in the comment. Let me know what works for you. Maybe I can apply some of that over here for me. But we're all growing, we're all learning, and it's going to continuously be a thing that we have to focus on, right? And I'm intentional about it. Yeah, so I appreciate y'all tuning in, and we will definitely catch you in the next one. Peace.